It is time to make a end mill holder now for my 1/8 inch end mills. I'll be making out this here bar stock here. I'll be putting a 2 Morse taper on there. I'll be using my tapering jig on my lathe to do that. And I'm going to have to do some turning down here so I can get a little bit of a neck here for this here for an 1/8 inch bit to go into, and then I'll do some threading for a set screw and things like that. So that's going to be my next project here. It's going to be some tooling for my micro mill drill. Okay, the workpiece bar diameter is 1 1/8 inches in diameter. That's 1.125. The bit going into the center there is 0.125. The height of the set screw is 0.25. And so the center of this here, of the bar, would be 0.5625 from here to here. 0.5625, and then we take half of the bit diameter, which is a 1/16 of an inch, and that leaves us from here to here now 0.5 inches. Then we subtract a 1/4 inch because we put the set screw in tight to the bottom of the bit there. That leaves us a 1/4 inch left over, and so that leaves us with 0.25 of depth of cut. And so we're taking off the diameter a 1/2 inch. Okay, so taking that there 1/2 inch off of the diameter, we'll bring that to 5/8 of an inch for the neck here, and then we'll put the set screw in here. And that neck is needed so as to get the diameter down so that there's no interference when I'm cutting into different areas, small areas, with the 1/8 inch bit. That was drilled for the lead screw, and now I need to tap that to 3/8/16 thread. Takes care of that side there. Now I'm going to switch it around so that I can machine now and drill a hole here now for the 1/8 inch bit that's going to be going in here as a work piece for the the cutter itself as an 1/8 inch bit. So I'm going to drill and ream for an 1/8 inch bit here now. 64 bit right now. Using the reamer to ream it now. The reamer that's 1/1000th below an 1/8 of an inch. .125. This fits now. Here's a .125 reamer, or end mill, and that fits in really nice. So I'll stop right there and just use that 1/8 inch reamer. Takes care of that. So the next thing to do now would be to machine the neck on here to get this down to where it needs to be. I think I said that it's going to be a 1/2 inch off the diameter taken down so far, and then we can have room to put a set screw, and then from there we'll turn around and get things set up to do the tapering, 2 Morse taper. That's got next. Original drill chuck that came with the micro mill, and so I'm going to go with this to give me an idea of how far I'm going to bring this for the taper here. That gives me a rough idea how far I'm going to take this. I'm going to set the set screw about probably about a 1/4 inch in like this, roughly, so I can machine the neck of this up to about here and then taper that a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, I can machine up to there, the neck. And that way it'll give it a lot of clearance that it needs whenever I do any kind of close work with the end mill, with that 1/8 inch end mill. To go. 10, 14, 15. Okay, that should take care of that part. I can set this up in my lathe here for doing kind of tapering on the other side. I'm going to have to put this in my milling machine now in a vise and drill for that set screw, because I think this is the only time that I'm going to be able to hold anything in my vise, because after I get that done I'm going to be tapering that, and it's going to be very hard to hold a taper in a vise. So that's what I need to do next. Calculation that we were doing in the beginning here. When I put that bit in there, then I'll be able to put a set screw in here, and I should be able to get that set screw tight against the bit, with the outside, the top of the set screw being flat, or being flush with the top of the holder here, like that. Just got to clean out their 1/8 inch ream again, because when you drill through like that there, you get those chips on the inside and you get that breakthrough. And so you got to make sure that's cleaned out. Okay, let's go ahead and check and see what that looks like on the, see if we can all the way through on there. Okay, I get a little farther yet on the drill yet. I can go down past that hole a little more, so my taper tap will go down past there where it needs to be, because I don't have a bottoming tap, and so I have to use a taper tap, and so I need to give myself some clearance here. That should be enough clearance there. Now I'll go ahead and put the tap down through there. Let's see, get a little more threads on it. I need about 2 or 3 more threads. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. Now we're ready to go back to lathe and start doing the tapering for the Morse taper. So what I'm going to do is do a couple small tapers with the compound on the lathe here. I'm going to do a small taper here to get this here a little bit of a relief here, so that you can see down to the bit better, and then do a small taper from the neck here out to about here, where the other taper is going to be relieved at. Taper here, I got to pull the compound slide all the way out and move this to where I think it would work at. Bring this over, and I'm going to be working back and forth here a little bit just to see what I think would work at here. Maybe a taper about like that, maybe. Probably about like that, I would say. That might do it right there. So now that I got it where I want it, I can lock it here with these 2 screws like this. And if it's not where I want it, then I'll have to pull back out again. But it's just a matter of trial and error. You just move it back and forth till you get where you want it at. I'd say probably like that would probably do what I'm looking for. I would take it like this. Let's do this a little more. Maybe I'll come this way with it. I'll not run out of cross slide here. About right there. Okay, let's give that a try and see how that works. Lock the carriage here. And the carriage. that's a pretty good guesstimation. Put right to the edge of our hole here, and pretty much down to the edge of the hole here. Okay, taper. Now I'm going to get a little bit of a taper on here now. Again, I'll just make some sort of a adjustment here just by eye, just to see what I can come up with here. Probably a taper, something like that, maybe. You see how cumbersome this is to do short tapers with the compound like this. I guess here I can go and get myself more support this way. That's why I made a tapering jig, because I don't have to do all this here lining up this way. I can do a lot easier way of doing it. You'll see that later on. Alright, let's do some short tapers here now. Okay, I think that should be enough taper there to give clearance. How this here works on the lathe here, like this here, for doing small tapers. You got to back the compound slide all the way out completely just to get things lined up to where you want it at. It's always a trial and error. That's why I made my jig, so the whole lot easier way of doing it in lining things up. And that's what's coming up next, the jig that I made for my lathe. My tapering jig. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is my tapering jig for my mini lathe, and it eliminates having to go through all the tedious adjustments that I had to go through before to get everything lined up. Everything is set up a completely different way on this, and I'll show you how it's done. It's really easy in setting up for a taper. And the reason why is because on the mini lathe I had to back out the whole compound slide in order to adjust it. On this here I eliminated that option, and I came up with this option instead, to use a locking bar like this. So therefore there's no set screw that can do any kind of damage, so you don't have anything that's constantly a positive indentation or anything. It all stays smooth, so you can line it up very accurately, and it's just a clamping system that locks back here. So just a small turn right here like this in the picture would lock that in position. And like I said, because there's no set screw, you can adjust it anywhere you want and it'll stay in that position because there's no indentation going on here. I also make all my gibs this way here. My gibs are made like this, where they have two edges here like this, so I can just slide it over the dovetail like this and then just set it in. Again, that gib is only aluminum, and then I just set it in like that. And this here is just a nut that I got from the regular store. But anyway, this here, this nut has to be loose enough so I can get that to line up on the cross slide. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and put this on the lathe, and like I said, this whole system replaces the entire cross slide, and you'll see how that works. Okay, so I'll take out the full cross slide here. adjust the screw in front here a little bit until I get the catch in there. Okay. So that goes back and forth like that. It's been a long time since I've used this. A couple years. Slide that on there like that. Alright, let's get this thing set up. What I do is I take a commercial chuck and I use this as my reference. Make sure the lathe is off. Okay, now, now, right down here and here, I have two machine surfaces that are parallel with each other. I can use either one of these. I use this top one right here right now, and I can put a parallel against there. And when I put that parallel against there, I can use that parallel now to line up with this here Morse taper right here as a pattern. What I'll do is I'll put this in between here like this, and then I will adjust that. Let me get this on the stand. Now I'll put that parallel here like this, and then I'll bring this in, bring the whole cross slide in, and then I'll swing this back and forth to get that to line up. And what I'll do is I'll put a piece of paper underneath there and a light, and then I'll be able to see the gap. Right now I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes only, but when I get off camera here, I'm going to set this up with a light and a piece of paper underneath there, and that'll allow me to really line this up where I want it. But that's the whole gist of it right there, to be able to line it up that way there. And that's pretty close right there as it is. Okay, so I'm going to do some fine adjustment here, and then we're going to start getting this set up for cutting some tapers. Now when I get it lined up where I want it at, no more movement here, so it's nice and tight against the pattern. And I move this here, and there's no movement here, it's nice and square. I can now come down here, right where that there lock screws are right there, just tighten it like this. And all of the adjustments are done from on top here. While I am adjusting up here, I can also adjust down here too to lock it in position. And so now there's no need to pull anything back or anything and keep on rechecking. It's just a matter of getting it lined up and locking it down here, and we're ready to go. And there is the gap. And what I'll do now is I'll put my cutter on there, and I'll follow that through here and see if there's any fine adjustment that needs to be done here now. It's a matter of putting the tool post on here. That drops down like that. All the way goes down in there like that. It's screwed in nice and tight. And then the locking right here. I'll get that adjusted there. And the way this works is the whole carriage gets locked in position and doesn't move. And that gets locked in position with the two locks here. And then all of the movement is done on the jig itself. All of the movement. And let me get this lined up here in the center here someplace here. I'll put this about right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust where I want to put the carriage so that I know where I'm going to start the taper and end the taper. But you can see what's going on here right now as I'm following this taper down through here. It looks like I have enough travel here that I can lock the carriage right where it's at. About like that. So I can lock the carriage right here. And I'll do a little bit more fine adjustment here, and we'll come back. Go ahead and follow this here bit down through here as I turn this knob here on the jig itself, and this whole thing advances, travels this way. Let's go ahead and follow this bit against the pattern here, and see how close we are. I'd say that's falling pretty darn close, so I say we've got that set up pretty close. Now I can take out the pattern here and put the workpiece in. I can adjust my carriage here. So what I'm going to do is I want to get the bottom of the taper here. This is going to be my reference right here. And I'm going to machine a small, right there, I'm going to machine this down right here for about maybe a half an inch, because I have enough room to work that. Let me stop in here. So about a half an inch or so at this diameter here, and that'll allow me to have a depth of what I can go down to. Right now I'm moving the whole carriage right now because I'm doing a straight cut. To go. Okay, so I'm looking for right there. So now I just set up here for the tapering. Previously have the angle set on the jig itself. I have the bit set all the way to the full depth of cut where it's going to have to end up at, and that way there I can lock my carriage now down here. I now have a stop here to keep it from moving also, and my carriage is in position now, and all I got to do now is back out on the cross slide here to get the bit here, and there'll be no more movement on the carriage, but now all the movement will be done on the jig itself in this direction. And as I turn this counterclockwise, this travels from right to left. And so what I'll do now is I'll start running this direction here, and then go in on my cross slide a little bit at a time and keep on going back on this way here, and we'll get that taper. What's nice about this setup also is I can also use the tailstock too to support the workpiece. If I was using my compound slide, I would have to remove the tailstock completely in order to be able to get it behind in this direction. So this allows me to have good support here with this setup. Okay, I'm going to try that, see how that works. Okay, let's try it in the micro mill, see how it works. Alrighty, that worked out nice. But this is the way I oiled it all down pretty good here, keep everything from rusting or anything. What we're going to do is take it apart here with this part here, so it comes off. For storage, but easier storage this way. Just set that back here. And there. Take the post off here. And great for storage. Okay, the one we just made. Okay, let's see how this goes in now. Pops up in here. Well, it's holding in there without even putting the drawbar on. Okay, here's the drawbar. Alright, let's give it a try. Okay, we'll go ahead and put a bit in here now. 1/8 inch bit. 1/8 inch milling cutter. Run out now. Get above that there set screw. Let's twist it by hand here. Let's take a look at the run out. That's not bad. About 1.5 thou. That's not bad. I'm okay with that. So I'm going to put an 1/8 inch drill bit in there and just see how accurate that would drill. center drill either. One milling operation with this now. Take the drill bit back out, and let's put an end mill cutter in here, 1/8 inch end mill cutter, and let's do it. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. That's good. That's a good end mill holder for this kind of application. And you've seen how I made that with my jig and everything, and how this is how I make a lot of my tooling for my Morse taper tooling. And this is some other tooling I made using my tapering jig. I made this here for my boring bar holder, and then I made some end mill holders here. Another one here for something different there. That's a 1 Morse taper there, I think it was, at my wood lathe I had a long time ago. And then of course all these here for my metal machines. And that's the tooling that I make with this here jig. And that's about all for now. So thanks for watching. Bye.